guys, everything new under the sun here. I'm just working away on my MacBook Pro 2008, early 2008, chugging away. But I got a surprise for you. What if I just close this down here? Oh, what is that? That is my new iMac. Now this is, I'll get into the specs in a bit, but this is a 2010 iMac. So what am I doing with a 2010 iMac, you may say? Well, I'm just going to pull up about this Mac. My MacBook Pro has battery issues, and the last couple of days I've had to reboot it when I was doing some videoing of some daily videos, and it would lock up and run out of memory and have trouble, and I'd have to reboot it. And so I thought, you know, for the price of an upgrade, the best I can do in my MacBook Pro, my 2008 MacBook Pro, this guy here, the best I can do for a RAM upgrade is 6 gigs total. And it would cost me about $130, probably $150 by the time you add in tax and shipping, whatever else there is on top of that. So I thought, well, what else is there out there? Is there something a little faster that I could get that had much more future expansion options that might work a little better for me? And I found this one on a local secondhand website, usedpei.com, similar to Kijiji or Craigslist. And I found it for a good price. And so I got this guy for $350. So let me just show you here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to zoom in here and just right there. So this is a 2010 MacBook. It's got OS X version 10.9.4, which is Mavericks. It's got a 3.06 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo processor, and it's got 4 gigs of RAM, which is 1067 megahertz DDR3 RAM, which is much better than my 2008 MacBook, which is DDR2, 4 gigs of DDR2. And this one apparently has 4 slots, so there's 2 free slots in this, and I can actually upgrade this to 16 gigs of RAM for about half the price of upgrading, well, not quite, I can upgrade to I think 12 gigs at least for about half the price of upgrading my MacBook Pro laptop to 6 gigs. So I'm way farther ahead if I do that. So what does it have? It has an NVIDIA GeForce 9400 with 256 megabytes of onboard video RAM, which is a bit of a downgrade. My MacBook Pro has 512. But I'm thinking the extra horsepower in the processor will make that invisible effectively. And this has built-in, it's got the 1080 display, 1920 by 1080. For storage, it's got the stock 500 gigabyte spindle hard drive, standard 3.5 inch spindle hard drive. This is the same 500 gig likely that came with the unit, and it's otherwise got a super drive in it for a burner. The extra drive you see here is my Garmin Virb, actually, that I have plugged into the USB. I'm just charging it up, so that doesn't count. If we go over to memory here, you can see I have 2 empty slots at the top and 2 gig sticks at the bottom, so I can quite cheaply and easily even just buy a couple of dirt cheap 2 gigabyte sticks and double my memory to 8 gigs. Or I could go one better and buy a couple of 4 gig sticks and put it up to 12 gigabytes fairly cheaply and conveniently. And then I still have upgrade opportunities from there. I can still go all the way to 16, which is really nice. Now the screen real estate is really nice on this unit. It is a 21-inch screen, and so I can get 2 documents side by side up here. I'm not going to particularly demonstrate it, but it's much more usable real estate than my MacBook Pro, which I was missing. I was looking to do extended desktops with it regardless. So this is quite a nice unit. I'll show you around the back of it in a second. So we've got the standard USB Apple keyboard. It's got USB ports on the end of it in here, and of course I've got the standard Apple mouse. Really nice to have the Apple mouse again, because I can now do expose and all that kind of stuff that I couldn't easily do with the MacBook Pro keyboard without hitting the function keys. I like to use the expose F9 and that sort of thing, and it just wasn't quite as easy to use on the MacBook Pro. So on the side here you have an SD slot and the super drive slot. I think that's an SD, I assume it is. So that'll be nice just to have an onboard, out-of-the-box SD slot that I can put my memory card into. Then at the back here, you've got your headphone jack, your microphone jack. You've got 4 USB ports, USB 2.0 on this unit. Then you got your FireWire 800 next there, and then your mini display port out, and then your 10100 1000 Ethernet jack right there, which is really nice, and of course nice, beautiful, shiny Apple logo on the back there. If I can get it in focus, so that's beautiful. It's got some tape on it. It came from a college, a graphics art lab, and they used it for a couple of years and got rid of it. And it is not the newest thing. I should point out that the power button is on this side. On my old 17-inch iMac, which was, I think it was 2005 or something, the power was on this side. Either way, the story is that a college used this for graphics art, and then once they were done with it, they sold them, and the tech folk there wiped it out and put Mavericks on it. So it's a blank system. It's pretty much stock out of the box, and probably what I'll do is I will go ahead and put my 256 gig SSD in there, and then maybe have a FireWire 800 external 7200 RPM 3.5 inch drive, 1 terabyte, which I already have a 1 terabyte drive in my toaster, and I can use that as kind of my large working space, but have a nice quick primary drive. It'd be nice if I could stick 2 hard drives into this. I could stick one in the bay here and remove the super drive, but I'm not going to do that. This ends up being our only system because I just got a MacBook Air for my wife, and that obviously doesn't come with a super drive at all. It barely has USB ports. So I'm going to keep that for iTunes and things like that, but this will be a big step in the right direction and ease some of the bottlenecks that I had with content creation for my YouTube channel and otherwise. And it also gives me some expandability in the years ahead, whereas I'm nearly maxed out with the MacBook Pro. I could only get 2 more gigs into it, into this poor little guy. Plus the fact that the battery didn't work on this, so it wasn't really portable as it was anyways. So that wasn't helping me. So this guy isn't portable, but I haven't lost anything there because my MacBook Pro wasn't. So this will kind of become a bit more of the family PC with iPhoto, and it'll also be my workhorse content creation system. And I'll probably also extend the screen over to my 20-inch monitor when after my regular 9 to 5 hours, and use that extra real estate to really get some work done. So I'm excited about the upgrade here, and my next video I'm going to actually kind of demonstrate replacing not the motherboard, the hard drive in it, and for that you actually have to take the glass screen off. But I want to show that to you, and this is, you could call it a sort of an unboxing, a switch from my MacBook Pro to the early 2008 to a 2010 iMac, and it should give me a boost in horsepower and also some future upgradability options so that I can keep going and keep creating content and not get slowed down or bogged down by things. So this will be a real nice enhancement, and the screen real estate is much appreciated, so I'll make good use of that. And to note, if anybody's interested, I will be posting this MacBook on eBay and putting it up in the next week here. So if anybody is looking for a MacBook Pro, this one works perfectly other than the battery, which it doesn't recognize. The connector came off the motherboard, and that's part of the one of the reasons for switching. I needed a bigger system and a bit more RAM as well. But otherwise, this unit works great. And I've got a power cord with it, so I'll maybe try and get the link to eBay down in the description there. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, You can search for it on eBay as soon as I post this, and you'll probably see it. So that's the update, guys. That's a surprise. That's the new thing in technology, which will, I think, really help my content creation workflow go much quicker. I'm excited about it. And thanks for watching, guys. And all the videos going forward will probably be from this unit. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.